So if you've ever seen a sequel to a movie which was pretty much the same story as the original movie, but told slightly differently in the sequel, then you'll kind of feel me with this game. All Blacks have taken out the second game in the Bledisloe, 40 points to 12 of the Wallabies. Different game, but as I say, pretty much the same overall story as last week. This game was close at half-time. It was 14 points to 7. Beauden Barrett had scored 2 tries, 1 to Guinea. Beauden would end up with 4 tries in the whole game. Moody got 1 and Squire got 1. Hodge would get the other one for the Wallabies. But yeah, much like last week, it was tight at halftime. Defence was fairly solid in that first half. And then, man, did the All Blacks just go to town in that second half with so many tries. The game started with a real role reversal because the Wallabies had a steady scrum. And they managed to get a line-out steal, and it really seemed like, okay, maybe the shoe's going to be on the other foot for a while. Maybe the Wallabies go up to a lead here. But like a couple of minutes later, Brodie Retallick stripped the ball off Tui, and he got a line-out steal. So it was kind of regular service resumed. All Blacks still guilty of making those mistakes that they had in the first half as last week, same as this week. It was uncanny that the All Blacks said in the lead up to this game, this is an area they were going to focus on. They needed to get that kind of thing right. Still the same as last week. Yeah, just too many mistakes and, kind of not able to capitalize when they did have the ball. The Aussies did have more ball in the first half. They led possession and territory according to ESPN by 60-odd%. Their line-out for the Australians was improved from last week. I mean, the first half, it was at like 70-odd%, which is decent. But kind of worryingly, even in that first half where it finished 14-7, the Aussies had 60% of the ball. But if you look at the run meters, All Blacks 358, Wallabies 260. And that's with them having more than 10% more ball. So, well, more than 20 really if you're thinking about it, if it's 60-40. So, yeah, not ideal. And more worryingly, the tackle stats. New Zealand still at that high 80s, 88%. Australia 70. Even in the first half last week, they were doing pretty well at halftime. But 70% in that first half. Penalties conceded 7-4 in the first half. The All Blacks were actually under a little bit of pressure at scrum time. I admit, man, that Wallabies scrum really stepped it up from last week, especially in that first half. But man, the All Blacks just do what they do. They scored in the 37th minute to take it 14-7. And then straight away in the second half, 42 minutes, Moody got his try. So it's like a cliche. We say it over and over again how dangerous the All Blacks are at kind of each side of half-time. And then they just do it again. It's like you know it's coming and you can't do anything about it. It must be incredibly frustrating for the opposition. And it all came from Alalatoa's kind of off-the-ball penalty. Like, he tackled, I think it was Jordie Barrett without the ball. All Blacks kick for touch, have an attacking kind of, was it an attacking line out? And then a few phases later they go in for a try. So, man, you're kind of costing yourself with that kind of play. And once the All Blacks are up to a decent lead, after Squire's try, it was 28 points to 7. If you're at Eden Park and you're down 28-7, it's almost kind of game over. Although then Foley did put in a big try save on Jordie Barrett. That looked like a try for all money. And then Hodge got his try. So it was kind of like, okay, game back on. Maybe the Wallabies have got the momentum. They're going to swing this back. But no, then Beauden Barrett got another try. Had a try wiped off by the TMO. And then he got a proper try that was awarded. And then the Holo got a try that was kind of scratched off for a forward pass. So, yeah. 40 points to 12 does not make pretty reading. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, the Wallabies turned down 3 points, backing that scrum of theirs. It was better this week. The scrums were a wee bit messy, but the Wallabies were able to get some penalties in that area. It was good that when they did score that Guinea try, because they had scrum penalty, scrum penalty, scrum penalty, and it's kind of like, man, if the All Blacks turn this over and then head down the other end of the field, it's going to be a total morale breaker for the Wallabies, but they managed to get the try, which was kind of encouraging. But yeah, like I said, that first and end of the first half, start of the second half was pretty killer for them. At full time, Starting to pee down now. People walking home from Eden Park are going to be getting wet. Full time, the tackle stats make pretty bad reading for the Wallabies. The All Blacks are down to 83%, but that's still a very respectable number. Wallabies down to 65. I mean, Kurtley Beale has never been a guy known for his defence, and I was a bit worried for him going into this game because you got Laumapi running at you, who is just a tackle busting machine. I think he was 6th overall in Super Rugby for tackle busts. And he seemed to contain him early on, as the commentators kind of kept pointing out, but the guy missed 6 tackles in this game. Made 8, but missed 6. And it wasn't just him. Korobidi missed about 6. Simmons came on, made 4, missed 3, and as a sub, that's pretty bad. Robertson came on and made 2, missed 2. That's all pretty costly. You can't be tackling at 50-odd%. It's going to end pretty badly for you if you do that kind of thing. But as I said, their set piece, the scrum and the line-out was operating at 80+%, so that's a big improvement from last week. They did manage to get that kind of turned around in a week. Maybe last week was just a bit of an off week, or the All Blacks really reading what they were doing. But man, so many All Blacks had good games. Beauden Barrett, I mean, 4 tries, what can you say? The guy's a magician. Retallick is massive as always with his strips, with his line-out work, ruck work. The guy is just a freak. Naholo made a whole lot of meters. Ben Smith made a lot of meters. He was kind of everywhere. Geordie Barrett coming in this week had put in a good shift. I mean, Guinea was good for the Wallabies. Pocock was there at the breakdown. I mean, that guy made 13 from 13 tackles. So that guy is always doing his business, but it's some of the guys around him that are a bit guilty of letting him down. But yeah, man, the All Blacks are going to be pretty tough to beat this Rugby Championship. 40 points to 12. A bit concerning about Sam Cane. He went off with a head knock. He failed an HIA. Squire looked like he'd had a knock early on, but he seemed fine. But yeah, Cane went off with his one. So we'll see how he goes. There's a bit of a gap now between games, so he'll have a chance to kind of recover. TJ Perenara looked good when he came on. Yeah, some big performances from the All Blacks. And it's another one where you can keep them kind of in touch for 40 minutes, but it's that second 40 that the All Blacks will really run away with the game. So yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on this one. Very similar story to last week. All Blacks just too good. The favourites for a reason. 40 points to 12. Yeah, I'll talk to you again for the South Africa-Argentina one early tomorrow morning. All right, guys, I'll see you later.